Good morning, friends. In the previous lecture we saw that we had 100 data and we arranged them in two classes. So you can see how the classes are made. So this 20 to 29, 30 to 39 are sometimes called class or class interval. You can call it whatever you want to. So they are groups. We have put them into groups. So like I told you yesterday, depending upon how much data you have, the readings you have, you can either have discrete. Now remember, these numbers when they are not put in the groups, say 20 to 29, not in classes, it is called discrete or also called ungrouped frequency distribution. So what does the frequency mean? Frequency means how many times the event occurs. So if I look at the discrete data, then 23, the frequency I can write as a smaller frequency, occurred only once, 27 occurred once, 28 occurred once, and 92 occurred 3 times. So I have to write all these numbers separately with the frequency. Frequency means how many times the numbers occur. So 23 occurred one time, 27 one time, and so on. So we have made classes here which made it easier for us to tabulate the data. This is called tabulating the data. So I hope by now you have understood how to make the classes. Now what are the rules to make the classes? Yesterday I told you there are no specific rules to make the classes. You can make any class. So I went 20 to 29, made a big class. I could go 20 to 24 and then 25 to 29. Or I could go 20 to 22, 23 to 25, 26 to 28 and so on. Okay, so 20 to 22, 23 to 25, I can make the classes the way I want. The only rule for the classes is it should not overlap. Means I cannot make a class 20 to 29 and another class 25 to 34. This is not right. Why it is not right? You can see when you go from 20 to 29, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 are repeating in both the classes. So this is not valid. The classes should never overlap. So depending upon your convenience and the amount of data you can have this class or this, depends upon whichever class you want to take. Now, since I have taken this class, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49 and so on. So every class has got two limits. Which limits? The lower class limit and the upper class limit. So when I break them into class, I have got a lower class limit and upper class limit. For this group 20 to 29, the lower class limit is 20 and the upper class limit is 29. This is the lower limit. On the left side we have the lower limit, on the right side we have the upper limit. So lower class limit is 20 and 29. That is for the first class whose frequency is 3. If I take say this class, then you know the lower limit is 60 and the upper limit is 69. So every class which we make, every classes that we make, every class interval we take has a lower class limit and an upper class limit. And based on the lower class and upper class limit, we have got something called the class length or the class width. Width means how much thick the class is. 20 to 29 is the class length or the class width. So you can see it starts with 20 and ends with 29. So if you count it out, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 has got a class length of 10. So how I made my work easier? From 20 to 29, all the 20s, the 10 I took 1, 30 to 39. In each place, the class length remains the same. Now for every class, the upper limit and lower limit changes, but the class length remains the same. So what you see here today, based on yesterday's sum, we have got discrete frequency distribution, also called ungrouped, when you do not group them up. If you do not make the group, but just write the numbers, then you get an ungrouped frequency distribution. Okay, I'll give an example of discrete frequency distribution. Let us take an example. Suppose you visit 50 families. Okay, as of now, suppose you visit 50 families. Okay. And count the number of children in the families. So what will you count? Some has got say 2 children, some have got 3, some has got 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 0, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, 5, 1, 8, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now what I have done here, I have taken some families, I have taken a survey of the families and asked them how many children does the family have. Then some have got 2 children. Now there is a rare case that has got 8 children, but there are 2 children, there is 1 child, there are 3 children, there are 4, some case there are 5 or there are mostly 0. So here, since the data is very limited, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 9 3s are 27 families I have taken. Now since this data is limited, what is the range of the data? The highest is 8 and the smallest is 0. So just the class range is 8. So when the class range is 8, I don't need to go for the classes. I can directly go for the number. Number of children. That's it. So in this case, I do not go for the classes, I just go for the number. So this is the discrete data or the ungrouped frequency. So how many children at the least? 0. Some have got 1, some have got 2, some have got 3, some have got 4, some have got 5 and some have got 8. Let us do the tally marks and see. This is 2. So tally mark 2, 3, 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then 3, 4, 1, 0, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0. Then 5, 1 makes you tell them for 5, 8, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. So what I did here, I directly took number of children, the tally marks and now the frequency. So frequency is 0, 5 families have got 0 children, 6 families have got 1 child, 6 families have got 2 children, 5 families have got 3, 3 families have got 4 kids, 1 family has 5 kids and 1 family has 8 kids. So add them up, 6 plus 6, 12, 12 plus 10, 12 plus 10 is 22, 20 then 25, 26, 27. So here you can see when the range was small, the highest reading is 8, smallest is 0. So there are only 7 readings, so I do not need to make classes. Here I have made an ungrouped frequency distribution. Ungrouped means I have not made a group, this is the discrete data. How many have got 0 children? So we counted with the tally marks, 5 families, this is the frequency. 5 families, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 have got no child, 6 family has got 1 child, 6 family has got 2 children, 5 families have got 3 children. So this is how we got. So this is what is this called? Discrete data. Have you understood the example? When you look of number of children in the family, it is mostly 0, 1, 2, 3. 8 is a rare case, but still we have taken 8 is a very rare case. So number of children in the family are quite less and hence we can easily get a discrete frequency distribution or the ungrouped frequency. But you saw here it starts with 20 and ends with 98. Such a long range cannot go with discrete, so we go with the class interval. So this is a grouped frequency distribution. So what happens here? Here the work is harder but the accuracy is maintained. Here the work has become simple but the accuracy has been compromised. Okay? So what have we done so far? So I guess here we have got nothing in discrete. Discrete is just a number. But here you made classes. So in the classes you have a lower limit, a upper limit and a class length. You have to class start from 0 to 29, so a class length of 10. This is what we have done. So now we will do a few sums to understand the concept in detail. Here we have a sum from the book. The relative humidity in percentage of a certain city for a month of 30 days was as follows. So this is the relative humidity of a city. It is given to us. They have told us to make a table which should have classes, the classes should be from 84 to 86, 86 to 88 and so on. This is it is mentioned that they want classes like this. Now what is this? This is the reading of relative humidity. So I write here, this is the relative humidity mentioned here. Now they want 84 to 86, 86 to 88. So if I continue now, how long I have to go? Now let us see, is there a reading from 84 to 86? There is 89.2 here. Yes, you got 84.9. So they have told us 84.9 is the lowest. So start from 84.9. And where is the highest? The highest we have is 97.3. Sorry, you have got 98.3. So I think 98.3 is the highest. So we need to go up to 98. So we'll go 88, then 90 to 90. Sorry, we missed one. 84 to 86, 86 to 88, 88 to 90, 90 to 92, 92 to 94, 94 to 96, 96 to 98 and 98 to 100. Okay, now what you can see here, what did you see in the previous sum? If we had gone from 84 to 86, then we would went from 87 to 89. Why would you do that? Because there were numbers which were not decimal numbers. Now decimal numbers you can see lie in between also. So if you take here 84 to 86, I'll write and show. Suppose you take 84 to 86 and then you jump from 87 to 89. If you do this, if you take 84 to 86 and 87 to 89, then all the numbers 86.1, 86.2, they are more than 86 but less than 87, so they cannot be fit in this table. Are you following? So this is, the previous one was an inclusive, here this is the exclusive one. So what happens here? You can see what I mean to say. If I go say 84 to 86 and then I go from 87 to 89 and say we have a reading 86.5. Now 86.5 is not between 84 to 86 because it is more than 86. The lower limit is 84, so the number should be bigger than 84. And the upper limit is 86, so the number should be less than 86, but 86.5 is bigger than 86, so it doesn't come in this class. Now this starts from 87, so this is the lower limit, so this class should have numbers bigger than 87, so 86.5 will not come in this class also. So we cannot use this class because when you got decimal numbers, now you have to make it a continuous class. So these are non-continuous class, discontinuous. 84 to 86. Then we jump 87 to 89. So from 86 there is a jump to 87. This is called a non-continuous class. 84 to 86, 86 to 86 is a continuous class because you are going from 84 to 86. So if we draw on a number line, how can we show this on a number line? If I draw a number line, I have got 84 to 86 the class, and then the class goes from 87 to 89. So there is a jump over here, you can see. There is a gap here, there is nothing for 86 to 87. But when I do this, then it becomes continuous. How continuous? 84, 86, 88. So we have got 84 to 86, 86 to 88, 88 to 90 and so on. So now it has become continuous. So this is discontinuous and we have got decimal point, so we cannot take this, so we have to go to this. But when we take this classes, a problem arises here. Have you noticed the problem? You have got 86 over here also and 86 over here also. So if you are reading call 86, where will you put it? Will you put it in this class or this class? So by convention, we have to take this class. That is the rule. Remember, if you got a reading call 86, it won't come in this class, it will come in this class. That is a rule. So remember, if you have got a reading call 92, it won't come in this class, 92 will come in this class. It will always come with the lower limit and not as a upper limit. So then, once we are done with this, let us put on the tally marks. So now you know what you're supposed to do. You can start 98.1 is between 98 and 100. 98.6 is also here. So we'll go like this. 98.1, 89.2. 89.2 is between 88 and 90. 96.2 is here. 98.6 already put. 92.3 is here. 92.1. Now where will 92.1 come? After 92. 99.2. So this is the biggest one. 99.2 comes here. 97.1 we have here. 84.9 is here. 90.3 will be here. 93.5 is here. 90.2 is between 90 and 92. 86.5 is here. 92.7 we have here. 95.7 will come here. Then 95.3 also comes here. 95.1 also comes here. 98.3 lies here. 92.9, so it becomes 5. 97.2 lies here. 97.3 lies here. 96.3 also lies in this, so this becomes 5. 93.3 lies here. 96.1 is over here. 94.2, so let us see now. 94.2 is here. 95.2 also comes here, this becomes 5. 92.1 is here. 95.1 is right here. 97.3 is here, and 89. So 89 is between 80 and 90, so we get it here. So we got the telemarks. Now what did we find? We found a number of days. So these are number of days. The frequency is what? The frequency is the number of days. Number of days where the temperature, relative humidity was between 84 to 86. So there is only one day. Between 86 to 88, only one day. Between 89 to 90, there were 2 days. Between 90 and 92, there were 2 days. Between 92 and 94, we got 5 and 2, 7 days. Between 94 and 96, we have 6 days. Between 96 and 98, we have got 7 days. And we have got 4 days here. The total will be the 30 days. But you will have to check out, has the frequency been proper? Yes, so come on, you need to work out one more time and see if the frequency is right. So after checking the frequency table, the question asked which month or season do you think the data is about. Now when you can see, there is 100%, there is not 100%, but the humidity in the air is very, very high. So obviously this is the rainy season, because it is relative humidity in percentage. 100% means maximum humidity. Humidity is already almost reached 99.2. You can see the humidity has almost reached 99.2. So you got 99.2 is the highest humidity. So obviously this is the rainy season, and the lowest is how much? 84.9. Second question asks what is the range. So range is 99.2 minus 84.9. Subtract it and you will get the range of the relative humidity in the air. So in the rainy season, this is the range of the relative humidity. So I hope you have understood this sum properly. Two things to mention here are what? We have made a continuous table now. How? 84 to 86, 86 to 88. Why? Because we had decimal numbers from 86 point something cannot come here. So we have put in continuous class. But when you make it a continuous class, remember 86 will come in this class and not the above class. So this is what you have to take care while doing further sums. One step we need to see here, very important, is we have done the sum, but let us say we had the classes from 84 to 86, then 87 to 89, where there is a jump of 1. So this is a discontinuous class. And for sums like this, sometimes you have to make the discontinuous class as a continuous class. So we'll see how we do it. I showed you the number line. When you have the number line drawn, you have 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. This is like a number line. We have from 84 to 86 one class. Then we have got 87 to 89 one class with a jump of 1 in between. There is a jump here. So this is a gap here, and we need to close this gap to make it a continuous class. So how do we do that? We see, we take the lower limit of the above class. So we take this lower limit 87 and the upper limit of the above class minus 86. Means you can see I took this 87, which is the upper limit of the lower limit of the higher class, and I took 86, which is the lower limit, because here is the exact gap. So how much is the gap? So I did 87 minus 86 equal to 1. So 1 is the gap over here which I have to fill. Now what do I do? This gap has to be equally divided between both. So equally divided, I have to make half of it. So 1 upon 2 gives me 0.5. So what I do, I increase the 86 by 0.5 and I decrease the 87 by 0.5. So where do I reach the 86.5? So now how do we change these classes from discontinuous to continuous? So what you have to do at every step, here you have to minus the 0.5 and here you have to add the 0.5. Here you minus the 0.5, here you add the 0.5. So the new classes become 83.5, because 84 minus 0.5 to 86.5. 87 minus 0.5 is 86.5 and this becomes 89.5. Then 89.5 here to 92.5. In this way, I have changed the discontinuous class into a continuous class. What you could see here, 84 to 86 was one class, 87 to 89 was another class with a jump of 1 in between. So whatever the jump is, no matter what the jump is, you divide that jump into half, you increase the upper limit by half and the lower limit by half. Now since the jump was only 1, so I divided 1 by 2, so 1 by 2 is 0.5. So what I did, the upper limit I added 5, I took the jump further. In the lower limit at minus 5, so I brought the jump lower, so they both meet here. So 86.5, 86.5. But since I am doing it to this class, I needed to do it every class. So even 84 here has to be changed to 83.5. So now we have got, look at 84 and 86. If you count now, how much is this? 84, 85, 86. So the class length was how much? Check out. 84, 85, 86. So the class length was 3. Now we do 86.5 minus 83.5. The class length has still remained 3. 89.5 minus 86. Here also it was. So here what it was? Here you count 84, 85, 86. Here you count 87, 88, 89. So the class length of 3. But here you will count from 83.5 to 86.5. But 86.5 do not take here. It is not taken here. 86.5 is taken here. Similarly, 89.5 is not taken here. It is taken here. So the class length still remains 3. We have not changed the class length. Have we? Why? Because here 86.5 was not counted. Here 86 was counted. So 84, 85, 86, the class length was 3. And here also the class length has remained 3. So this is how we make a discontinuous class into a continuous class. This is a very, very important step. You have to understand the step how to change a discontinuous class into a continuous class. So all you have to do in the exercise now further is to see the classes, whether they are continuous or discontinuous, where they are telling you to change the continuous to discontinuous to continuous. There you need to work it out and then make the table. The next topic is the representation of the data on graphs. So from the next lecture onwards, we'll turn to graphs. But before we move on to the graphs, you will have to learn this to make the table. What is this? So you write relative humidity in percentage, okay, and make the classes accordingly. Now what is the rule for the classes? The classes should not overlap. So here 86.5, 86.5 not overlapping, because we do not count it here, we count 86.5 in the next class. Remember this. So then you go for the tally marks, check it up well, and then what is this? The number of days, the frequency is the number of days, write it down, make the table. Next time, what we have to do in the next lecture is the table, we have to show it on a graph. So you saw this raw data can be easily understood using a table, but you will see that the graph is a much easier representation than a table also. So in the next lecture, we'll move on to graphs. So we are going to end here today. Thank you.